Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, anytime you are watching this. I'm Uramike Gracious-Esther, and this is my space, the Device Space. And today I have a very, very special guest. I'll be talking about something very, very much important. But before then, I would want him to introduce himself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Olaniyan. I am a legal practitioner, and at the same time, I am the team lead at Thinking School Nigeria, where we provide training and advisory support to startups, to businesses, and basically also to young people who are starting out in their career.
We have a very, very honorable guest. So if you know what is good for everybody, just click on that red button that says subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and at the end of the video, please share. In the last video I put out, I talked about how much important it is to plan, and I get steps on how you could plan. But today we're going to be talking about why people don't make progress, even though they make out a whole lot of interesting plans to go for the year. And we're in the year 2022. So, sir, I would first of all, I want to ask why it's important for us to plan.
Yeah, it's very important to plan. A wise man once said that if you fail to plan, that you have planned to fail. Planning is important for anything you want to do. If you don't put plans in place for you to be able to achieve what you have in mind, then you may not be able to achieve it. The good book, the Holy Bible, says that who is that person who wants to build a house? I will not first of all count the cost. So if you do not count the cost, you may find that you get to a midpoint and then you get stuck. So that's why it's absolutely important for you to make plans.
Is it possible that you make these plans, but at the end of the day, there is no progress, there is no success that comes out from it?
Yes, it's very possible. It's possible for a person to make plans and still fail. It's possible, and there are many things that can influence that. But to answer your question directly, yes, you can make plans and still not make progress. You can make plan and still fail at that venture.
So what are the reasons why we would make this plan and still, yes, we don't have progress? Like beginning of the year, you know that beginning of this year, a lot of people made resolutions. A lot of people brought out their books and wrote down the whole plans, like how they are going to jog every blessed day of their life. For example, we young ones, we make a whole lot of plans, but then at the end of the day, we don't even do them, and we don't even know why, or we try our best. In our minds, we are doing our best, but then we don't see progress. So what are the reasons why we don't even have progress even after making this plan?
There are a number of reasons, and I'll start from the biggest one that I have noticed, particularly with younger people, even with older people too. But it's quite common with younger people, and that is if your plan is not realistic. For example, you say, "Oh, I'm a young person. I want to lose weight." That's like the common thing now. I want to lose weight. I want to go from I don't know what the sizes are, but let's just say for discussion's sake, I want to go from size 10 to size 6 before the end of this year. That may be possible, but you also need to look at what's your work life like. What are the demands of your studies? What are the demands of your daily life, daily activities? If you are working in a place where you have to resume by say 7 a.m. and you don't close until 8 p.m. and you have to be sitting throughout the period, you know that it is practically impossible. It's an unrealistic plan, because you would need to put in a whole lot of effort in going to the gym, in exercising, taking walks. You need to burn the calories that are building up. But if your job requires that you sit down for more than 12 hours, you're already tired by the time you get home and you don't have the opportunity to go to gym, then you already know that plan is going to fail. So it's an unrealistic plan. So then there's also the place of when you make plans and you don't execute. So some people make realistic plans. Oh, I'm going to take a 30 minutes walk every day. I'm going to reduce on my fat and oil consumption, or I'm going to study a book a day. or read a chapter a day. I'm going to, seemingly realistic plans. But if you fail to execute, and I tell people, your New Year resolution starts failing from January 1. So if you say, I'm not going to take soda again, I'm going to take Coca-Cola, take Pepsi, or what have you again, then it means that 1st of January, you would not drink. You will not say, because it's New Year, let me just take one. Oh, because I am tired, let me just take one. It has failed. So execution is another major problem. Yeah, and you see, particularly for those that were born between the 80s till now, we are very big on talking. But we do a lot of talking, we do a lot of analyzing, we do a lot of planning. When it comes to executing, that's where the problem is. So execution is a major factor. Another reason, the third reason people plan and they don't see results is because they already have their plans, even when realistic, they have not broken them down into step-by-step approach. So they have like this grand plan, this very massive plan, and then they are taking them in weeks. So if I say, for example, that I want to increase my exposure to knowledge, and then I say that's the dream. Now the plan should not be I will read a book a week, not I'll read one book in 1 week. The plan, a good plan would be I'm going to read 5 pages in the morning, 8 a.m. before I go anywhere. That is a plan that is measurable. That is a plan that is broken down into tiny bits that you can actually implement. It is that way that you would then be able to know per day whether you have failed or not. It helps you to adjust. When you have missed that little tiny step, it helps you to immediately readjust it, because tomorrow you then know that, okay, it's either I have to make time for it in the evening when I come back from work, or I have to double my efforts tomorrow. It helps you to make the necessary adjustments, as a case may be required. Some goals are not SMART, and SMART is an acronym, for specific, measurable, actionable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. Yes. So if you don't have, some say smarter goals, but then let's stick with SMART goals. If you need to make your plans based on SMART goals, so it has to be your plans must be specific. You know exactly what you want to achieve. Must be measurable. So it's not just that you say I want to be wiser. That's not a goal. How do you measure that you're wiser? Saying I want to be slim is not a goal. It's not. So making plans, because the goal itself is not SMART, it's not specific. Then the plans too naturally would not be specific, because when your goals are specific, then your plans too can follow and become specific.
Thank you so much, sir. So people always say something that if you have to move forward, then you have to let some things go. Do they really affect our progress in life?
Yes, it does. It does affect our progress in life. So social media has taught us that you need to stay with old friends. You need to remain. They use that word loyal to people from the past. I would not call it. I would say it's not wise to be in that sense. Loyalty is very important, but you have to be first of all loyal to your advancement. You have to first of all be loyal to your own progress. Whatever it is that is in your past, or that is even in your present, that you already know is hindering your progress, you need to let it go, even if it's a human being. It's a sad reality that a lot of people don't like to admit. I would not be surprised if I see a lot of comments, tackling or arguing this, when you post this. But then you can choose to agree, but you can choose not to agree. I'm not in a place to force my opinion on anybody. But that is from the time that I have spent on this planet, and from the time that I have the opportunities I have had with interacting with many people at different stratas of life, I've come to realize that something is to give. Something must go for you to get what you want. If you are going to make progress in life, as you are making your plans, part of what you need to do is look at what are those things that would hinder the achievement of your plans. Once you identify those things, you then evaluate, are those things worth sacrificing, for where you are going. If you know that there are friends that when they wake up in the morning, the first thing they come to talk about is what is on Linda Cage's blog, what is on different apropos and gisting blogs, and you spend the next 3 to 4 hours doing that. You need to ask yourself, yeah, I want to be reading a book. I want to read 5 chapters, 6 chapters in a day, in the morning, and then you already know that these guys are going to be coming around you at the time you want to read. So you have to ask yourself, is the gist more important than the reading that I want? Or do I want to read and forgo the gist? When you want to forgo the gist, it means that you have to reduce the time you're spending with those friends, which means more or less that you are losing those friends. So it's something, the thing with life is that our existence is already filled up, whether you like it or not. Your thought is filled up. Your time is already filled up. There is no time that is idle. There's no idle time. It's either you are investing it or you are wasting it. It's one of the two. Or you are spending it. I'll use myself as an example. When I decided to go on this personal development journey, I knew that I would have to cut down on a whole lot of people. And I did not want to do that. I was trying to have my cake and eat it. So what did I do? And it helped. And I'm probably recommending this to as many as would want to do this. I'm having the same dilemma that I had at the time. So what I decided to do was to reduce how much time I spend with those people while increasing the time that I spend on myself. That way, it did not look like I did not cut them off. So if we would gist about football, if we would gist about so many of those irrelevancies, we would probably spend like 10 minutes talking about those things, and then I'm off, with my books. And then gradually began to eliminate those conversations. I started introducing the things that I was dealing with myself. Oh, have you read this book? Of course, some people would by themselves leave you and say, that guy is always talking about book. Let's go and gist somewhere else. Some also began to follow the same pattern. I say, yeah, okay, can I read this book? Can you help me get that? Can you, oh, I'm going for a seminar. Oh, guys, let's go and hang out. So instead of going to hang out at the football house, instead of going to go and hang out, maybe at a restaurant or something, but let's go and hang out at a conference. Let's hang out at a seminar. That way I was trying to keep my friends, but also showing them that this is where I'm going. So it's either you are following me or you're on your own. Not. Exactly. So,
the message was sent clear.
It was sent clear. Of course, that does not mean that some people will still not take offense. Some would still take offense. But the question you need to consistently and at every time ask yourself is, what is more important, your growth or pleasing some other people? It's a hard choice.
So, like, what should we do in order to make this progress?
There is one thing I advise everybody every time, and that is, don't plan too much. Execute. We don't execute enough. That's the problem we have, particularly in Africa. There are too many conferences. There are too many meetings. There are too many committees. Oh, there's a committee on this. There's a conference on that. Seminar on this. We talk too much, and we do very little. So my advice is, if you have a business idea, once you look at it, is there a market for it? Is it something you can do? Once you tick the necessary boxes, don't think for too long. Just think, and once you can say, okay, yeah, there's a market. People are willing to pay for it. I have the time to do the business. I have the skill to provide the service that is required. Like those basic bottom line issues. So does it have the potential of making profit? For me, yes, it does. Once you tick those boxes, don't wait for an appropriate or right time. Just start. Just start. Get doing. There are so many things that no matter how much you plan, until you get into it, you would not know how deep it is. So no matter, you can't test the depth of a well by planning about it. You just need to check whether you are able to come out. You just need to check yourself and whether you're able to climb and all that, and then you go into it. As you progress, as you go into that you have planned to do, as you go into that project, as you go into that resolution, as you go into it,
resolution.
As you move forward, you would make the adjustments along the way. You want to do business, don't wait for a perfect time. Just start a business. Once you have ticked those boxes, start the business, go ahead and continue to make the adjustments as you grow. You want to start a group, find the first one or two people. You have started a group. What's a group? A group is just a gathering of two or three. So
Yeah.
you started. Don't wait for the 1,000 people to join. Start with those two or three people and begin to, do what you intend to do at a micro level with those few people, and while at the same time advertising and keep pushing, because it is easier to improve than to start. I'll say that again. It's easier to improve on something than to start it. One other thing that we need to do for us to, make progress is to be receptive of feedback. That's another challenge that we have. People don't want to take feedback. Usually, when you criticize, they see you as the enemy.
Enemy.
Yeah, take feedback. It may be positive or negative. We encourage people, keep your feedback positive, but also to the person receiving the feedback, whether positive or negative, take everything. Don't let it, the good ones, don't let it get to your head, and the bad ones, don't let it get to your heart.
So I'm also going to ask about I have some couple of I was talking with some persons some other a time ago, and they talked about getting everything right before starting. So you talked about starting. There how I put it, when people just begin without having clearer understanding about what they want to delve into. And then there is one set of people. There are also this set of people who have an understanding of what they want to delve into, but are afraid of starting because they feel they don't have all the resources, or like they've not gotten all things perfect. I used to call them perfectionism. They want to get it all perfect. So like, how do you these two groups of people, how do they work it with starting?
For the people that are like perfectionists, it's for me. I feel it's like a mental issue, it's a mental construct where you think that you can't do something unless you have all your ducks properly lined up. Everything is perfectly in place.
Mm.
Nothing in life would ever be perfectly in place. There's always something. When I coach businesses and business owners, the question I ask them, which is also relevant for when I'm talking to people who have ideas and are trying to incubate their idea, is that when you draw up a budget for your business, always add additional 50% for things that you don't know that will come up. Because no matter how tight, no matter how perfect your plans may be, there are some things that will take you by the blind side that you will not see coming. It will just suddenly come up. So if that is already a given, then my advice is don't wait for perfect conditions. In fact, there's a proverb that says that the sailor who waits for the perfect weather to sail will never leave the harbor. If you are waiting for everything to be perfect condition, you will never take sail. So don't wait for perfect conditions. Just get started. At the same time, that is not saying that you should just start blindly. I don't say you just close your eyes and then just go. I'm saying just check. There are basic things that you need to look at. If it's a business, I've used business as an example. If it's school, for instance, you want to go to school, but you don't have enough money to pay all the school fees, then you need to ask yourself, okay, am I intelligent enough to actually go to school? Like, if I go to school, would I be able to go through? Just check for the basic things that are required to support the survival of that idea, and then go ahead and start. Don't wait for perfect conditions.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mike. My mindset has been like broadened with the more, and I hope each and every one of you have also learned one or two things. Tell me in the comment section. Mr. Mike, I've actually told you what he does. I'm actually going to maybe leave a link of how you can practically meet him and maybe tell him what you want, meet him. You shall pay him. You
Subscribe to this channel and keep the notifications on so that when new and interesting videos come up, you get notified.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Barrister Mike, thank you for honoring us with your presence. Remember I didn't ask you the last question. I've left it for the next time you will come again because you come again.
No problem. It's my pleasure. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, sir. All right. Bye. Remember to subscribe, like, and hit the notification button to get yourself notified whenever I release